Welcome back to the African Bush. I'm Tony, your ranger, and today I've got something really special for you. We're going to follow one leopard through an entire tough day in the wild. This is raw, real footage filmed near Swenny Bird Hide in the Kruger National Park. No fancy edits, no drama added, just pure nature. So he's a full-grown male, powerful, experienced, but something is not quite right. A slight injury in his back leg slows him down, not enough to stop him hunting, but just enough to make every move count. And today, every move matters. Through the heat of the day, he tries again, and again, and again. But in the wild, effort doesn't guarantee success. And just when it seems like he might finally turn things around, the bush has other plans. Because out here, one small mistake or one loud voice can ruin everything. This is the story of a tough day in the life of a leopard. If there's one animal that defines the rhythm of the African bushveld, it's the impala. To the untrained eye, they look relaxed, almost careless. But that's an illusion. Every second of their lives is built around one thing. So, impala live in a constant state of awareness, not panic, not fear, but readiness. And it's a fine balance they've perfected over generations, because in a landscape filled with predators, overreacting wastes energy and underreacting costs lives. So, impala live in a constant state of awareness, so they exist in between, tuned into the bush in ways that are almost impossible to notice unless you're really watching. The typical herd is never truly still. Even when they look calm, there's always movement. One lifts its head, another flicks an ear. A third turns slightly, adjusting its angle to the wind. It's a quiet, coordinated system, no leader calling the shots, but everyone playing a role. Impala trust their instincts, but they also question them. False alarms happen all the time. A bird taking off, suddenly a branch snapping in the heat. The bush is full of distractions. To react to everything, and they'd spend the entire day running. Ignore too much, and they don't get a second chance, so they hesitate. Unlike cheetahs that depend on speed, or lions that use strength in numbers, a leopard plays a different game, and it waits for doubt. This is the moment where everything pauses. The impala knows something isn't right. Head up, ears forward, body tense, but it doesn't run. It hesitates. The leopard waits. Meter, maybe two, then the impala will be close enough, but the impala runs and the leopard stays frozen. Maybe if its leg was not injured, it was possible. But he hesitated, and that cost him a meal. At this point of time, the leopard does not move a muscle, tries to stay undetected, and let the impala pass. There will be more opportunities later on. If you're enjoying these real moments from the bush, a quick like and subscribe really does make a difference. It helps keep the channel going and keeps me out here filming these raw, unpredictable stories. Every view, every bit of support, it all adds up, and it's what allows moments like this to be shared. So, the difference in experience is another crack predators look for, because in a herd, not everyone reacts the same way, and it only takes one. One impala to misread the situation, one to step too far, one to ignore that quiet feeling that something isn't right. And it only takes one. Today, one of them begins to drift slightly away from the group. Not far enough to be alone, but far enough to be vulnerable. It's subtle, almost unnoticeable at first. While the others pause and scan, this one takes an extra step. Then another, drawn forward by the promise of water, or maybe just less cautious than the rest. There's nothing obvious, no movement, no sound, no smell strong enough to trigger a full alarm. But something feels off. it hesitates. So, this is the moment where experience usually wins, where the impala turns away, rejoins the group, and the tension dissolves. But today, it doesn't. Instead, it inches forward carefully, slowly, each step placed with hesitation, but not enough to stop. The rest of the herd lingers behind, some watching, some still drinking, unaware that the balance is shifting. The impala freezes, completely still now, every sense locked in. And in the bush, the leopard is locked onto it. This is the line. No more room for hesitation. Let us watch that again in slow motion. The leopard explodes from the cover, and the impala reacts instantly. That split-second hesitation is gone. Now, it's pure instinct. A powerful leap, a sharp turn, and it's gone. The leopard pulls up and stands still, one hind paw lifted off the ground. That injury shows itself again. Maybe the reason the timing was just off, why the burst of speed fell short. Out here, injuries are part of life. It could be from a failed hunt, a bad landing, or even a fight with another predator. So, every mark tells a story, and today, this one may have cost him everything. Almost immediately, the leopard drops low again, pressing himself into the ground. Above him, on slightly higher ground, a group of guinea fowl move through the area, and for a predator like this, they're a real problem. Guinea fowl might not look like much, but they are some of the best early warning systems in the bush. They move in tight groups, constantly communicating with soft clucks and contact calls, always aware of each other and everything around them. Nothing goes unnoticed for long. Their eyesight is sharp, their heads are always up, always scanning. And because they stick together, there are dozens of eyes working at once. One bird sees something, and within seconds, the whole group knows. And when guinea fowl get alarmed, they don't stay quiet. Loud, frantic calls that carry across the bush, warning not just each other, but every animal nearby that something is wrong. For an ambush predator, that's the last thing you want. One burst of noise from these birds, and the entire area wakes up. It's another reminder of how many things a predator has to manage out here. It's not just about the prey in front of you, it's about everything else in the environment. Birds, wind, terrain, timing. Everything matters. So, he knows this area, he knows where the cover is, and he returns to it. Back to the dry bush where he started. Back to the same patch of shade and shadow that gave him a chance before. Because out here, you don't get many options. Sometimes all you can do is reset and try again. Back in position, the leopard settles into the same dry bush. And then, movement. Two male impala come down the slope. Calm at first, but not careless. One of them slows. Something catches its attention. It stops, stares toward the bush. Nothing obvious, just shapes and shadows, but something doesn't feel right. Takes a few steps forward, then freezes again. Now facing directly toward the leopard. Head tilts slightly, trying to focus, Trying to understand, the bush stays still. Not a muscle. Another step from the impala, closer now, more certain but not fully. He sees him. Instantly, the body language changes. A sharp warning snort breaks the silence. The impala jumps back, spins, gives more warning snorts and bolts. And the leopard doesn't even try. Still frozen in place, watching it slip away. Today, just isn't his day. The bush settles again. The leopard stays where he is, still locked into that same patch of cover. And then something else appears. So a waterbuck coming down from behind him, moving through the bush, unaware. For a moment, the leopard turns his head, watching. But he doesn't react. No shift, no stalk, no attempt. Whether it's the angle, the distance, or that injury, he lets it pass. So the waterbuck continues down, almost parallel to where the leopard lies hidden, reading the bush, trying to make sense of what it can't quite see. Then a sudden jump forward, sharp alert, but it doesn't run, not fully convinced. Instead, it carries on. Cautious now, very aware now. The waterbuck makes its way down, each step measured. It pauses often, head lifting, ears turning, reading everything around it. It knows something is not quite right, but it can't confirm it, so it keeps moving, slowly, cautiously down to the water's edge. Waterbuck are built for this kind of environment. They're closely tied to water, rarely straying far from it, and they know just how dangerous these drinking spots can be. The hesitation you saw, that moment of freezing and jumping forward, that's part of how they deal with uncertainty. Test the danger, but don't overreact. They also carry a strong scent produced by oily secretions in their skin. And it's believed this can make them less appealing to some predators, especially when other easier prey is around. So they survive by being cautious, deliberate, and just hard enough to catch. And today, that was enough. With the waterbuck gone, the leopard finally gets up. Slowly, carefully, he leaves the safety of the dry bush and he moves toward the exact line the waterbuck used. Reading the ground, following the path, understanding where the opportunity came from, because that's what predators do. Just off to the side, the terrain changes. Reeds, thicker, denser, better cover, and immediately it offers something the dry bush couldn't. Concealment closer to the water. So he slips into it. Body low, movements controlled, disappearing into the vertical lines of the reeds, and then he settles, lying down again, watching, waiting. From here, he has a better view of the approach. A better chance if something comes in just right. In the distance, more waterbuck move through the area. So he sees them, tracks them with his eyes, but he doesn't move. No attempt, no stalk, just observation. Today has already shown him that things are not in his favor. So he just observes, and should the perfect moment come, he would be ready to pounce. And while we wait here with him, If you're enjoying these real moments from the bush, a quick like and subscribe really does make a difference. It helps keep the channel going and keeps me out here filming these raw, unpredictable stories. Every view, every bit of support, it all adds up, and it's what allows moments like this to be shared. And then the worst possible visitor arrives. So a single baboon steps into view. At first, it does not notice anything, but it does not take long for a baboon to see danger. The leopard tries to stay still, hidden, even its ears are flat. Body upright, eyes fixed toward the reeds. He's not guessing. He knows. And within seconds, the alarm call rings out. And there's no hesitation here, no uncertainty like we saw with the impala or even the waterbuck. Baboons don't take chances. They live in highly structured troops, and part of that system is constant vigilance. There are always individuals watching, elevated, alert, reading the landscape in a way few other animals can. And unlike most prey species, baboons don't just run from predators, they confront them. A lone leopard might successfully hunt a baboon under the right conditions, but once detected, the situation changes completely. So their strategy is simple: see it early, expose it, and make sure everyone knows. The calls echo through the bush, and the leopard knows. So he's been seen. And just like that, the day comes to an end. No kill, no reward, just lessons, patience, and a reminder of how unforgiving the wild can be. The leopard disappears into the bush, empty-handed but not defeated. Because out here, every mischance is just part of the story. And tomorrow, the hunt begins again. This is Tony, the Ranger, signing out.